Sometimes we get caught in a loop deathmatching an opponent, and several games later, we're down bad. We've been getting interrupted, whiff punished, mixed up and blown up. And a lot of the time, the more frustrated we get, the more buttons we press, and the more losses we accumulate. Now there are many ways outside of the set to better our play. Maybe check out the frame data of certain moves, look up the string pathways, or even look at some guides. But that isn't going to help us not lose this demotion match right now. So one of the things we can do is back off for a round, and take a breather. Now this is a really useful thing for a couple of reasons. Firstly, a lot of players, especially online, are hyper aggressive and will just try and knowledge check you forever. Just simply backdash and give your opponent enough rope to hang themselves. Most players are used to just spamming online because hardly anyone has tried to counter it. When I used to play online, spamming strings actually ended up superior to most things, but it does quickly come to an end for the most part at the tail end of intermediate ranks. This is because so many string enders are either unsafe or end with high attacks, and just backdashing and blocking then punishing with a decent punisher will throw a spanner in their works. You can actually see this break some opponents mentally when you just counter their string attempts over and over again, and then they stand back up and don't know how to approach you anymore. Another reason to play passively for a little while is to see the offensive patterns in your opponent. A lot of the time, lower and mid-rank players will rotate through a small number of moves that usually work for them. If you just poke around and see what they do, a lot of the time they would have shown you their hand. You can then use this information for the rest of the set. Of course, this isn't the solution every time, and at a super beginner level, mashing in people's face is probably the best bet for the immediate victories, but this will stunt your growth long term. I must also admit that online at least, a lot of the time people will just leave after you've beaten them once, so this is more designed about long term growth and people that usually stick around for 3 or more matches. But learning to analyze your opponent is a vital skill in every fighting game, and even more so in Tekken. If nothing else, taking a second to snap yourself out of autopiloting your gameplay will allow you to observe the reasoning behind the opponent's actions as well as your own, and make you think if throwing out that junkyard is really a good idea. Thanks for watching. This was just a short video because bigger things are in the works. All of my subscribers and any new subscribers will receive a week-long buff to their perceptive abilities, giving you that keen eye for dismantling your opponents. Bye!